All right, good morning everybody. Welcome to the Faro PointSense for Revit 16.5 webinar. We're going to take you through what is PointSense for Revit and also what's new with our latest release. So go ahead and get started here, and just for everyone's knowledge, this is being recorded. If you're having problems with audio, you probably can't hear me right now, but this screen might be helpful. You can dial in, and there's an access code at the bottom, so I'll leave that up for just a second. So again, this is being recorded. If for some reason you get called away, we will make sure that this recording gets out to you. And I'll go ahead and move forward here. Okay, just a little background for those of you that are unfamiliar. Formerly the Qubit folks are now part of Faro. This is where the PointSense family of products came from, and while we're presenting to you today as Faro. Development still takes place for the PointSense products in Dresden, Germany, but of course we still have our satellite office in the US in Houston, Texas. And a little background with Qubit was founded in 1999 by Matthias and Dr. Oliver Bringman. It's about 29 to 30 employees in the Dresden office that are working hard to make good products for everyone. And we refer to the Qubit products now as Faro 3D software. So basically Faro 3D software now offers AutoCAD and Revit-based plugin solutions, as well as standalone software for various technology fields, and we use the from real world to CAD slogan quite a bit. And we like to think that our software stands for accuracy and efficiency. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and just turn it over to Jörg Bronze, who's our product manager for PointSense for Revit. And if you notice in your GoToWebinar panel, you'll see the questions panel there. Go ahead and start typing your questions throughout the webinar. At the end, we'll cover all of the Q&A with Jörg, but feel free to type your questions throughout. So Jörg, let me switch the presentation over to you. So
okay.
you can work your magic.
Okay, thank you, Scott, for the nice introduction, and good morning to everybody here from Germany. And in the next 50 minutes, I think, I will give you an introduction into PointSense for Revit, and especially into the new features of the new release 16.5. But before we start with the product itself, I will give you a short overview of the laser scanning process and where our products are placed in this process. Of course, you already know the hardware, so the far focus or the far freestyle to capture reality on site. And then you go to the office, do your registration, and do the pre-process with cleaning and filtering the raw scan data in a pre-processing tool, for example with Faroscene. And now we have to go to a post-processing process, the modeling, the interpretation, and the analysis of your data to whatever you need from the scan data in your design tool. And today we want to talk about the Revit tool, the PointSense for Revit. And so we are in the Autodesk world, in the Autodesk environment, and so we need our point cloud data in an Autodesk file format. This is the recap file format, RCS or RCP. RCS stands for Reality Capture Scan, and RCP for Reality Capture Project. So we are able to export from Faroscene directly into this file format, or you can also use Autodesk Recap to create your RCS point clouds from any hardware manufacturer from laser skin. So from any hardware you can create these files and use this in the Autodesk world, and so also in Revit. So if you are in Revit, you want to create your models out of the point cloud. And what is PointSense for Revit for? So PointSense for Revit is a software, as an add-in for Revit that helps you building your building models from the point cloud directly inside Revit with easy to use and precise tools to create this model very fast. So let's have a short look to Revit. What can Revit do with point cloud itself? So of course you can display, you can insert point clouds, you can display them. It's view dependent. It means you can turn on and off the point clouds in each individual view. You can also change the colorization of the point cloud in each view. The point cloud is like a model object, so you can crop the point cloud with the view ranges and also with the 3D section box in the 3D view. And Revit offers a simple point cloud snap, so you can snap to each point cloud point as well as to a planar surface on the point cloud. But this snap works also only on the active work plane. It's not a real 3D snap. So this is what PointSense for Revit can give you to this functionality from Revit itself. So we have tools for fitting objects like walls, lines or planes. We have aligning tools for these walls. We have tools for inserting walls and inserting objects like windows, doors, columns, in the point cloud, which is 3D point snap. We have different functionalities to work in the family editor to create new objects, new building components in the Revit family editor. And new to the version 60.5, we have also tools for the analysis of the deviation between your model and point cloud. So if you have a look to the workflow from point cloud to model in Revit, so of course we are starting with inserting the point cloud and adjusting your project coordinates, setting up a shared coordinate system if you need, and then we go to the elevation or section and defining our levels for each building story, and in each level we can model the walls and the overall geometry. Then we insert our families, our building components, windows, doors, columns, other elements, and then we have to create as-built families. So that means if we have an object in our scan that is not in our library, so we have not this family here, so we have to create new families. And in all these points, in all these process steps, PointSense can help you with different tools. So it's a tool set to give you a better workflow from scan to BIM here. But this should be all for the moment for the theory. Now I want to go more in detail into the features, and I will show you this something live and something in short video. So first of all, if you have inserted the point cloud in your Revit project, you have to set up your project coordinates, and here PointSense helps you by acquiring shared coordinates from your point cloud. That means if you imported the point cloud, you can do this center to center and then adjust the point cloud to your project needs, and then it's easy to acquire point cloud coordinates to define your shared coordinate system here if you want to use your project together with other linked files, for example with CAD files or with other Revit files. If you have do this and you are start modeling your overall geometry, your walls, PointSense helps you with the wall fitting tool, so you can create quickly the walls in the point clouds, and the software automatically finds the right wall thickness and creates also automatically new wall types for the wall thickness. I will show you this in a few seconds. Before what happened with your walls if you're fitting walls. So you will get a result that looks a little bit like this. So you have no 90-degree angles, you have no continuous wall axis, no continuous wall faces. But in most cases, if you want to work with this Revit model, you need a little bit of adjustment of this model. So you want to have orthogonal wall axis and continuous wall faces and all the things. And so you want to create a model like this. But all of this alignment should be in a user-defined tolerance. So the user defines how much he will allow that the wall is moved to the new position instead of being the best fit in the point cloud. And this is something I want to show you in the software itself. So here I'm in Revit. I have a simple model here from building with some walls. I can turn off the point cloud so you can see here there are some walls for the first floor. So let me go to the first floor. So you can hear, let me turn off the shadows. So, okay, here we are on the first floor. You can see the point cloud. The point cloud is cropped by the view ranges. Sorry for that. I will. Yep. Okay. So, and you can see here the points of the walls from the point cloud. And the first thing what we do with PointSense is we do a preparing process. Preparing means we calculate the point cloud, so-called ortho image, and in this ortho image we are able to fit the walls much faster than in the point cloud. And as a side effect, you can see it here. This is the prepared floor plan with the point cloud, and as a side effect, we have a much clearer view to the point cloud. So you can here see all the walls from in the point cloud, and you can see all the details from the door here. Okay. So and in this prepared point cloud, I want to show you how we can fit some walls. So I start a fitting tool. My top constraint should be next level, and I click 2 points inside the wall. So remember, this is the point cloud, this is not a model. And here in this tool, the software searches for the wall faces on each side and detect also the wall thickness. In this preview window, you can zoom in and check the results. Okay, it's fine. So we have a wall thickness of 115 millimeters, and in my project I already have a wall type with the thickness, so I can insert this type here. And the software creates a wall. So I can do this here again. And also if you have not so much points here scanned on this wall face, the software finds this wall perfectly. I insert again the same type. Let me do this here. Perfect. And now let's have a look to this wall here. So I have not so much points scanned. Okay, if this happens, so the software finds not the wall with first try, I can set up some control points here, and so I'm starting the wall fitting again, and now the software finds also the right thickness here. For this wall thickness, I have no wall type in my project. So the next wall type is an exterior wall type here with 350 millimeters, but this is not what I need. So I need also an interior wall here, but with the right thickness. And so I can say insert the selected type with adjustment, and adjustment means that PointSense creates a new wall type based on the selected one with the right wall thickness. All right. Okay, so if this is our result from the first floor, so you can see here the walls are not connected, and I have also not a 90-degree angle, so I can show you this by creating some annotation here. So, and now I want to align all the walls together. And I start my alignment tool, select all the walls. Okay, right. So in my preview window, I can see all the walls, and with the colorization, I can also see the deviation. Deviation means here, PointSense moves each wall a little bit to fit into a reference system. What means reference system? So if I show you the reference system here, you can see all the red walls are now in an orthogonal to each other. So I get exactly 90-degree angles. So, and this one wall has to move 18 millimeters to fit in this reference system. So if I reduce my tolerance here for the reference direction, say update, you can see that that PointSense finds now not the red reference system, it finds also a green and a blue one with other direction, and my maximum deviation of each wall is now less than 15 millimeters. Okay. What you also can see here is, on this example, that PointSense will create a continuous wall face here between these two walls. So I have two wall types with two different wall thickness, but PointSense creates a continuous wall face here. Okay, let's say okay, and check this again. And if I turn the direction here, so you can see here I got a smooth connection between these three walls. All right. So let's go back to the presentation. If you have created your overall geometry with all the walls, then you will insert, you can insert building components like doors or windows or other elements. And for this, we also provide a photo-like scan view. So that means you do not working in the point cloud itself, so you work in a photo-like scan view. You can see it here, and to place your objects. And for this scan view, we use another software called VirtuSurf. So VirtuSurf is a standalone software that gives you this nice scan images here, and VirtuSurf has a link to Revit, and you can start a command in VirtuSurf to create a Revit element, and you will get this Revit element at the same time. And this VirtuSurf software together with the Revit link is part of each PointSense product. So if you have PointSense for Revit, you will also get a VirtuSurf license with this Revit link. And how this link works, I will show you in this short video. On the right-hand side, you can see the VirtuSurf window with the scan view and also with the Revit toolbar. And here is Revit with our model. And now we want to create this window. So we start a window command. We choose our window type and pick 2 points in the scan view, and the window is created in the Revit model. Again with the door. So here in the door we have to pick points in the reveal and at the bottom, and so this is also possible with different inserting options and the point modes, and so we have this door here. You can use any type, any family type you want, and the PointSense can also create new family types for windows and doors from the dimensions of the scans. So again, here we can see how we can create a beam and a column, and with some modifying in Revit, we can finish this model. All right. So VirtuSurf is a pretty good tool because you have a really good view to the scans. You can easily identify all the elements, and it's not possible to pick a hidden point because you see only the points from one scan. But sometimes you don't want to use VirtuSurf to place some elements. You want to do this directly in the point cloud in Revit, and for this we can use all these VirtuSurf tools also in the point cloud together with the 3D point snap that PointSense offers. So you can see it here in this movie. We create a beam in 3D, so we pick the points directly on top of the point cloud, 4 points, to place this object in the point cloud. Right. One other element on the other side. So this is something you cannot do with Revit itself, because on Revit you have to place, or you'd have to define your work plane first before you can insert your family object, and with PointSense this is not necessary, so you can pick directly in the points. Okay, what else? So next to this object tools from PointSense, we also have some tools to create 3D construction aids, model lines, for example, or work planes. And this construction aids helps you to create any other element in Revit you need. So for example, for roofs or mass elements or in-place families. And we can also fit work planes with different tools. So by selecting just a single point or multiple points, or what is new with the version 60.5, we can also fit the work plane with the automatic rim. And this is something I want to show you in the software itself. So let me close this project first. And go to this one. So here you can see the model of a roof, and I will turn on the point cloud here. So, okay, all right. And you can see here in blue, this is a mass model, an in-place mass. This will be my helper object to create a roof, and how I can create this kind of mass I want to show you now. So first I will fit a work plane here on this roof face with a new fit plane with contour tool. So I can do some adjustment here. So how smooth should my contour be, or how exactly I want to find the plane. So I will start by picking a point in the point cloud, and from this point the software searches for this roof plane and will find automatically the rim of this plane. So if I turn off the point cloud, you can see here the lines and the work plane. So I have a work plane on the point cloud, and I have also the rim of this work plane with the model lines. Okay, and now I can use this work plane and also the model lines to create some other helper here with, for example, with the intersect two lines tool. So my first plane is the active work plane. Second one I want to pick by this line, and so I get here my intersecting line, and I can trim this black line with the other ones and also with my slab here. And now I have enough information to edit my math here to create a new face. So I start with a model line, make surface from closed loop and 3D snap, and now I can create a new face by snapping to the edges of my of my model lines here. Okay, and so in this way I can finish my math here, my in-place math object, and then use this object, for example, to create a roof by face. Select all the faces, create roof, and you can see here I get the roof objects here. So this is one example how you can use these construction aids to create any object you need in Revit. Another way to create model lines, to use these model lines for further detailing, is the new tool for fit polygons. So this is a tool where you start with some model lines in your point cloud, and then the software will fit these model lines into the point cloud, and you can use the lines for other to create other models. And this is also shown here in this short video. So you can see here a wall and the point cloud, and I already create a work plane here, so I can create model lines on this work plane with a standard Revit model line tool. And now I start a fit polygon tool from PointSense, pick the lines, so the software finds automatically all connected lines, and start the fitting process. So PointSense will add more segments into the lines to fit the line to the point cloud. Okay, we're ready. So this is the result, and this result you can use, for example, to edit this wall profile, and with the pick line tool from Revit you can easily snap to your model lines and use these model lines to create this opening here in this example. Okay, so now we have seen that we can work in the project environment with the point cloud, with the object fitting for walls and the lines, but if we want to create new building components, we have to switch to the family editor. And PointSense gives you some possibilities or some features to work directly in the family editor. First of all, you can insert point cloud regions directly in the family editor, so small regions you can cut out from your project environment and bring this into the family editor. And then you can create scaled auto images as construction aids. So you can see it here on the left hand side. So this is a X-ray auto image created from point cloud. I will show you this in a second. And this auto images you can use for family creation. It's also possible to use VirtuSurf to create model lines directly in the family editor, and new to version 60.5 we can also save model lines from the project environment directly as 2D or 3D family. So let me give you a short demonstration how we can work with families. So, all right. So here we are in the project environment. You can see here a wall and a point cloud of a window. And if you want to create this window as a new family, we have several possibilities. So first I want to show you how we can bring this point cloud into the family editor. So I can say export my point cloud region. So you use the 3D section box of Revit to crop the point cloud to the right region and then say export. All right. And I will save this on my desktop as a PTS file. So PTS is a ASCII file format for point cloud data. You can also create this PTS file from your registration software or also from Recap. Takes some seconds. Okay, so and before we go to the family editor, I want to show you how we can create a author image. So I will cut through this window here and let me adjust this a little bit and then say author image. And now the calculation started. It takes some seconds. So author image means we create an image file as a projection to the point cloud. From this view here, you can create a colored author image. So this option uses the RGB colors from the point cloud, or you can create an X-ray author image. X-ray means that we can see through the point clouds, but where we have more points, we get a darker contour, and with less points, we get a lighter contour. And here in the preview, you can see this in this X-ray author image. We can see very good all the details, all the profiles of the frames from this window. Okay. So I will cancel this calculation here. I already prepared the author image, and I will switch to the family editor. So here we are in the family environment. I prepared this family a little bit here with the opening, and when I go through the floor plan view, you can also see here that there is an author image already inserted. So this author image shows here the top view of this window with all the details. And when I go to the left view, I can also insert the other author image. Oh, this was the wrong file, sorry. So again, window left, right. Okay, here it is. So, and with this feature, the author image will be inserted into my file with the right scale, and then I can move it to the right position here. And use this author image for the modeling process. Okay. And as another option, I can also insert my point cloud region. so my PTS file, and have several options for the inserting. So I can also define a subsampling. That means I don't want to have each point in my family editor, and also for the positioning. So in this example, I already have created some Virtusurf project coordinates, so, and I will use this option. So that means I use Virtusurf to set up a coordinate system to the family editor, so that my point cloud exactly fits to the midpoint of the file, of the family file here. Okay. Okay, and here it is. So now we have here the point cloud in the family editor. And if you use all these options, so author image and point cloud region in the family editor, then the result can look like, yes, here it is. This can be the result of creating such a new family object from point cloud data. And of course you can use these objects together with the PointSense tools for inserting windows, or you use it with standard Revit tools for inserting windows. Okay. So let's have a look to the newer features from the version 60.5. So this is a new key feature of the product. So now we are able to analyze the model surface, the deviation of the model surface to the point cloud, and to colorize the surfaces. And I want to show you this also in the software. So let me close this file. And this one. Okay, we are waiting for Revit here. Too much files open. Okay, here it is. So this is a small project from Heritage, and you can see here, if I turn off the point cloud, I already created the model with the walls and the openings, and I want to calculate the deviation of this wall against the point cloud. And so I start a calculate tool, and first of all I have a selection wizard, so I can exactly define which kind of elements I want to select in my model. So in this example I only want select walls and only the vertical planar faces of these walls. And so when I start, I can only pick vertical faces of walls, no other faces. Okay, let me do this here on this face. Say finish. You can also pick multiple faces for this feature. And now I have to set up my analysis parameter. So mean grid size here, that means that we calculate the deviation in a grid on top of the surface, and the grid size is now 50 millimeters, and the maximum distance from the surface is here set to 30 centimeters. And then, okay, let's calculate this. So this feature is not limited to planar surfaces. You can also do this with curved surfaces. Okay. 2 more seconds and done. Perfect. So if I hide the point cloud, you can see it here, and I have also my legend. So we use here the analysis visualization tools from Revit, and you can see here we have the deviation, we have an average value. That means we see now the average value of each calculated cell, and we can also switch this to see the minimum deviation of each cell or the maximum deviation of each cell. And with the standard Revit tools, you can also edit this style. You can edit the colorization, you can go to ranges, or you can edit the legend if you need this. Okay. It's also possible to export these results here. With the export feature, you pick the object or you pick the face you want to export, and then you can export this as a text file with all the information we calculate, or you can also create some profile lines or construction points to show the deviation exactly on this face. Let me do this here with the red direction. Let's say the average value. And so the software creates some profile lines in this grid to show the deviation. That takes some seconds. Okay, here it is. So we save also a selection set of these lines, so it's easy to select all the lines at one time and say isolate, and so you can see here this is the deviation or the profile lines from this deviation. Okay, what can you do with this profile lines? You can use this, for example, to create a topo surface. So we add the possibility to the topo surface tool to select not only construction points, now we can also select model lines, and with this possibility it is now possible to use surface analysis to create topo surface tools. So you can see here I created a simple mass object and do a surface calculation to get the distances between this mass object and the point cloud, and then create the profile lines, and with a little bit editing of these lines, so you have to cut out the spikes where are some trees or the other buildings, and now we select all the lines with the topo tool, and PointSense creates a topo surface from these lines. All right. Another new feature is the Save as Family. So that means you can save any model line that you have created in the project environment as a 2D or 3D family, and use this in the family editor. And for example, you create this profile family out of the point cloud by fitting a polyline, and then use this profile family for creating a wall sweep. I can show you this in the software. All right, here's the example. So I have modeled some walls here, and I have the point cloud, and I already fit these model lines here in the point cloud for the profile. And now I start Save as Family. I choose my family template. So you can use any template you need for this. And to create a wall sweep, I need a profile hosted. Then I can select the lines. So if I want to create a 2D family, I only need to select one segment, and the software finds automatically all the connected lines. Give a name, wall sweep, and they start. Alright. And now I have this wall sweep profile here in my family browser, and with a little bit editing, you can see here, this is my line, and I have to close this profile to use it as a wall sweep. And in this example, I also have to select to mirror this and move it to the host face. Go back to my project, overwrite, yes, and now I can create a new wall sweep. This is the default wall sweep here, but when I edit this default type, I can choose my wall sweep profile here and get this object. So I have to move it a little bit, but now it fits. And here it is. So this is one example how you can use this feature Save as Family to create new family objects. This is possible with 2D family, you have seen this, but it's also possible with 3D families. Alright, the last new tool I want to show you here in this slide is the adapting of slabs and roof to construction points or model lines. So you know the feature of Revit that you can add shape points or lines to a slab or a flat roof, and this is a manual process, so you can add a point and then you can type in the distance or the height of this point, and with PointSense it's now possible to create these shape points from construction points or model lines. So you can pick construction points directly with the 3D snap in the point cloud, or you can create model lines in the point cloud. It's also possible to use the profile lines from the surface analysis, and with these points and lines you can easily adapt your slab or your flat roof to these points to find low or high points in this object. Some smaller improvements in the details. So we have also added an auto measure for point cloud parameters. So point cloud parameters means the noise and the average point distance of your point cloud. These two parameters are used in several fitting tools, and now it's possible to calculate these parameters automatically with the user interface. And in the fit plane tools we also add the option that you can restrict your fitted plane to any other model plane or a model line. And for the virtual surf tool wall, we put the the level options into the options window. So now all the options of creating walls and columns are inside one dialog. All right. Thank you for your time here. I'm finished with my presentation on all the demos, and I'm sure we have now time to answer to your questions.